Hey YouTube, it's Jurracmaster, and this is a Jurrac deck update. And I'm doing the update now because I just got my Steelswarm Roach today. So, I don't know where I last updated my main deck. I didn't really check that. So, I don't know if there's any real change to the main deck. I don't think there really is, because I've actually started to really like this main deck and don't think it needs to be changed very much. I'll look at the next format when it changes, and I will be changing it a little bit when we get the next pack after Generation Force with the Evils in it. On that topic, I will be covering Evils along with Lord Solar 6075, so check him out when those come out too. I'm going to change my wants, we'll add stuff to them. They might already be changed by the time this video's up. It'll just be, I'm looking for a few cards for my Evils for when those come out, and I need different rarities for some cards. So, I'm just going to jump into the deck now. Running 3 Jurrac Guaiba, 3 Jurrac Velo. If there was a change to the main deck, this would probably be it. Just bumped it up to 3 because I like it there now. 3 Jurrac Dino, 2 Jurrac Aolo, 1 Jurrac Gollin, 1 Jurrac Terra, 2 Jurrac Starico, 2 Jurrac Hera, and 1 Kinkabayo. That's all of the monsters. And into the spells, have 3 Forbidden Lance, 3 Fossil Dig, 2 Burden of the Mighty, 1 Mind Control, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Giant Trunade, 1 Book of Moon, and that is all of the spells for the deck. And moving into traps, I have 1 Solemn Judgment, 2 Solemn Warning, 1 Mirror Force, 2 Dimensional Prison, 1 Torrential, and 2 Trap Stun. So that's the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck, there's 1 change here, and that's just the Roach. So 2 Jurrac Giganoto, 1 Jurrac Meteor, 1 Steelswarm Roach instead of 1 Jurrac Velfido. Still running Utopia, Grenosaurus, Trishula, Stardust, Scrap Dragon, Black Rose, Ancient Fairy, Bryonic, Gaianite, Cataster, and Hyper Librarian. So that's all of the extra deck. Very slight change with adding the Roach. I'll go into why I did stuff in a little bit and why I actually decided to run Roach. But the extra deck isn't as important in this update as the side deck is. So the traps are all the same. So 1 Royal Oppression, 2 Gozen Match, 2 Rivalry of Warlords, 2 Skill Drain. Continuing with the spells, still running 2 Noblemen of Extermination, 2 Noblemen of Crossout, and I took out the 2 system downs because gadgets are kind of changing form. So I'm now running a card that stops regular gadgets, like the Machina Gadget build, I guess is what I'd consider regular gadgets, and the new offering gadgets with the new exceeds and stuff. I replaced those with 2 effect veilers. They work on more than just machines, so they're helpful, but they stop gadgets from getting that extra gadget. So if you side this in and stop them from getting the next gadget for their offering, they're kind of not going to be able to continue, and it would do the same thing against Machina gadgets, or you could stop the Machina gear frame from searching. So that's what I changed those to. And the battle faders, I found, though they could be useful, weren't as useful as I had hoped, and Dark Worlds are coming up as a big threat to me, so I decided to change those into DD Crows, so that way I can try to keep Dark Worlds from working. And I've yet to check if you can actually DD Crow when it hits the graveyard before its effect works. I actually guess you can, but that's just a guess, so don't hold me to it. You'll have to look that up for yourself if you actually want to run DD Crow. But Dark Worlds are really a pain, so are zombies. So if I can hit the cards in the graveyard that make those decks function, and whatever, then that would really be helpful. If you're more concerned about Dark Worlds than, say, Dark Worlds and zombies, you could change the DD Crows for 2 Imperial Iron Walls. Those would do pretty much the same thing against them, shut down their field spell and whatnot. Or if you want, you could run 2 Prohibition, call out that Dark World field spell, and stop them from playing it. So either way, any of these 3 cards really work pretty well against them. Now back to the extra deck. Velfido just wasn't working too well, so I put in Roach. Although Velfido is nice to have, you have to synchro into it, and quite honestly, I'd rather synchro into something else most of the time. The reason it was in there was kind of the main deck goes in match, and whatever. Even before then, it was just so it would work with my side deck, but now that's not so much of a big deal. If I really need to, I have a Grunnosaurus that works with it, pretty much the same amount of attack, and I don't really need the destroying defense position monsters, especially because if someone already has their, the indestructible monsters and stuff, I've probably attacked into them before I'm actually going to want to go into Velfido, but they have to be face down for that to work, so it's not really worth it. Such as, like, Spirit Reaper, Marshmallow, Gel and Duo, those things. Really just not worth it, because I've already flipped them face up, and the effect won't work anymore. And on that note, I'm still running this Utopia, because its effect is pretty nice, and, it's 2500, so I'm only really going to go into Roach when I can either actually get over them with the extra 200 attack, as I couldn't before, or when my opponent is pretty much useless at that point, and the only way they could come back is to maybe summon a high-level monster and whatnot, so I need to shut them down, which Roach does, and there was no need to keep Velfido, so that's why it's in there. I'm keeping Grunnosaurus just because it works with my side deck, and it is a fairly strong monster. It's a little stronger than Roach, level different. You need different levels to make it, so just in case I ever run into a situation when I need it, because I don't really need anything else in my extra deck anyway, so there's still room for it for now. I'll probably drop that and Utopia later on for 2 of the Evil Kaiser Ragias. I'll still be doing Jurracs when Evils come out. I'll just also be doing Evils. So, that's just my deck update, and just letting you guys know I'll be doing Evils when they're out. So, pretty much as soon as I can once they're out as well. Also, I'm happy I maxed out the rarity of my main deck, still working on the extra deck. I'll do a video on what I need and stuff, and what I'm looking for. So, thanks for watching.